Let me just see how the stream is going here. Offline. Same, right? Oh, okay. Alright, so we're live. And I can see myself. I have a monitor here so I can see what's going on this time, which is great. Alright, well, welcome to the news show. My battery on my laptop is dropping very quickly. So this is gonna be quick, and I don't have that many stories this week anyway. So, let's just head on to the news. Alright, so this first article is from PC Gamer. Apparently, NVIDIA just killed off the GPP program. So if you're not sure what the GPP was, it was the GeForce Partner Program, and basically what it did was it prohibited manufacturers from using the same brand to sell Intel and AMD, NVIDIA and AMD graphics cards, which is a violation of just consumer rights in general. And after much backfire, because it didn't work out very well for them, because most of us were like, what are you doing? They have decided to get their act together and stop it, which is great. Right, so our next piece of news is, if it ever loads, there we go. Alright, so new processors. We have the Snapdragon 710 and 730 with an 8nm process with custom Cairo cores and machine learning. I know very little about this, but just cool. Just new processors and stuff and stuff. And again, I was away on a trip the last 3 days, so I literally had the last 10 minutes to prepare for this, so might be a bit sloppy. My apologies. Alright, so next one is Trump administration just forced smartphone maker ZTE to shut down. So if you're unaware with them, ZTE is a company, Chinese company, I believe, that makes lower cost mobile devices. I have one of their tablets. It works fine for me, but apparently they were involved in some dubious business practices, and they were ordered to shut down. And I guess people heard about this, and their marketing wasn't going too well for them, so they just shut down global operations because it had to pay $89 million and $890 million in penalties, an amount of money I've never seen in my life. But they did violate laws, and well, it was the end of them. They couldn't continue. Yeah, it's the same article. Alright. Now this one's kind of ridiculous, okay? Alright. So if you're unfamiliar with percentages, if you get a 12 out of 100 on a test, you fail. You go to summer school, you do something, you fail. No, if you get 8%, you fail. Okay? 8% is really bad. So, UK police say that 92% false positive facial recognition is no big deal. Now you see 92%, you're like, oh, well, I mean, it worked 92% of the time. It's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. That's how many times it was wrong. It was only wrong 8% of the time, which is bad. It's no bueno. So no one has been, I briefly read the article, no one has been arrested over this horrible, technology, but they really shouldn't be rolling out technology like that if it's getting false positives. They really need to refine that, because, that's just not okay. Because if this led to someone being taken in and investigated, that would just be unfair. So, anyway, Intel could unveil a new graphics card at CES 2019. So that's pretty cool. So from this picture here, it looks like said graphics card would have like a blower style cooler and be closer to what do you call it? It would be closer to AMD's. It looks kind of like a Vega card that's been like sprayed over. I mean, AMD and Nvidia have been the only two competitors in the market for the longest of times, ever since AMD bought out ATI, which a lot of people weren't happy about. More competition now, and these Intel cards might be a decent rival to Nvidia and AMD, which is pretty cool. Alright, next article. Alright, so this goes along with more of my my ridiculous news section. Now, if you are building, don't get me wrong, if you are building a dual system, and you need that many fans, then sure, this is great for you. But for most people, you do not need this. You do not need this, okay? Look how many fans are there. All right, and of course it's RGB, because everything's RGB, because that's how you market to the public now. And you can fit two systems in, two separate power supplies, and I guess they built a system inside it, whatever. But you don't need it. No, you just don't need this. You don't. All right. Last article is NVIDIA allegedly working on GeForce GTX 1050 with 3 gigs of memory. So from what I understand, the 1050 currently has 2 gigabytes of memory. But the problem with this is this might be 3 gigabytes on a 96-bit bus instead of 128-bit bus, which would make it actually slower than its 2 gigabyte predecessor, which would just be a waste of everyone's time and money. But you know, they've done this kind of thing before, where they had the GT 1030, and the original GT 1030 used DDR5 memory and GDDR5 memory. So they came out with a new model that's DDR4, which is the generation, which is the previous generation. But they're marketing it under the same name, which is kind of fishy, and this might be something of a similar sort, and manufacturers are up to all this questionably legal stuff nowadays, and it's kind of ridiculous. But alright, just checking the stream out. I got my act together now, and I have monitor here off in the shelf so I can actually see what's happening. Because I wasn't able to do that before, because I was stupid and forgot to do that. But, that's it. Announcements. Right. Not much announcements. I'm looking to build a, with the main focus being a, AMD Ryzen 2400G, because currently, I'm currently dealing with, I could probably pull this up for you. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna fiddle with OBS for a second. Give me a second. Sites, window capture, properties. It's hacking. It's hacking, yo. All right. So this is not my computer. I'm looking to invest in a XPS 13, but this is what I'm using right now to stream, and this is what I encode my videos on. So I have a 1.6 gigahertz Intel Core i5. I think it's a 55 something along there. So like 5th gen. 4 gigs of DDR3 at 1600, which is definitely not enough. I've got some integrated something or other, which is it's just not cutting it. But I mean, it's working fine for now. But I mean, I need to find something new because this is not going to rust. This is not going to work. It's not going to last forever. But you've listened to me ramble enough for today, so I'm going to get this thing plugged in before it dies. I'm gonna make a thumbnail because that takes me ridiculously long. I don't know why. I'm just really slow at making thumbnails. But thank you for those who are watching now. But I also appreciate people watch it later. You can still learn something. If you're watching this, 3 weeks in the future, this is pretty much still relevant news. Thank you for watching. Come back in the future. Make sure to check out our other videos. I just uploaded one last week after my stream about using the TI Inspire and for retro gaming, which is pretty cool. I'm looking to do a video about installing Windows 2000 from USB onto a retro laptop, which would be cool, and like restoring this laptop, which I have found. But that's all for later. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.